The good old days have been cut in this particular video for various reasons and any other music in general. Thank you so much for going down memory lane. Let me take you back and tell you a story about unfinished movies. Playlist Archives. Remember in Playlist Archives #1, video #2, we're talking Master Wrestling Federation. Good times with the camcorder. So go check that out about the Master Wrestling Federation. So the camcorder, I got it in, like I said, I started Docos after I got out of high school, late June, early July '92. My first paycheck that I got, I rented a camcorder from Rent-A-Center, and it was one of the old style VHS, the loaded VHS tapes, and like I said, that's a dinosaur compared to what we know today here in 2013 and looking forward to the future. That's just basically, it's just like I said, like a fossil, because you know VHSs and stuff is just not around anymore. I mean, you can find a player, of course, with the DVD VHS combo, but like I said, the VHS tapes are obsolete, and you know, you can find old vintage VHS tapes as we know. But anyway, nonetheless, I got the camcorder, and my cousin John Swisher, Swishman, and I, we were going through and doing what we had to do to figure out what we was going to do, because we were all bored, and we were trying to figure out what we was going to do. And I told Swishman, I said, hey, man, I got a camcorder. He goes, you did? He's like, you do? I didn't know that. I said, yeah. I said, I rented it about a week or so ago from Rent-A-Center. He's like, oh. It's like, Junior, go ahead and take Raj and go get his camcorder, and, you know, he goes, come back, we'll figure something out. We decided, pondered for a bit, and got ourselves our own little production company. We called ourselves BYE, Backyard Entertainment. So we decided that we was going to go ahead and make up our own little spoof of the movie Terror in the Aisles, where we had Nancy Allen and Donald Pleasance in a movie theater getting the reactions of the crowd to various clips from the movie genre, or from the horror genre, if you will. We called ours Terror on Film. We did various clips from Friday the 13th Part 1 and 2 and Halloween and different other things, and got that down about 45 minutes, an hour movie, and we thought it was pretty good. We watched it and enjoyed it. But we wanted to do more. So as a week or two progressed, I ended up going to Scott's Costume Shop in Canton, Ohio, and got myself some Michael Myers mask for $45, tax included. And let me just say that Michael Myers mask, I would have had it today, but in 1995, that Michael Myers mask got torn to shreds. I come home from work one day, and my brother's dog got a hold of it. As I was there, I come in, and the dog's wagging its tail and jumping on me. It's all happy and everything, but I noticed that there was little pieces of brown pieces of hair that went from up the stair steps to where it lead around the corner of my room. I had a Michael Myers mask up on top of my stereo, and it fell. And the dog got a hold of it, ripped the nose off of it, ripped the hair off of it. That dog got whipped and yelped all the way down the stairs. Needless to say, that dog didn't like me after that, because he just ripped it to shreds. I would still had that, and I would have been able to say, hey, I'm a vintage collector of a Michael Myers mask, which was a replica of the mask Michael wore when Halloween 4 returned to Michael Myers in 1988. So I don't have that mask anymore. But anyway, the mask got good use. And anyway, we decided to go for the movie. It was non-scripted, and like I said, we decided, you know what, let's go ahead and put this down. If we got to do retakes, we'll do it. Didn't have to do a retake. So I come across the street there from the industrial park, the little factories that are on the southwest side of Massillon, and I come across the road. Junior's coming down in his Grand Prix or Grand Am, whatever it is, and he's coming down pretty fast, and he stands on the brakes, and I roll up onto the onto his hood and into his windshield and come down and fall, and Junior steps off. You were going so fast, I didn't see you. You all right? You all right? Well, I set up like Michael did there on Halloween, the first Halloween, when he was there over there by the closet, and Lori was telling Lindsay and Tommy to get out of the house, go down the street to the door, to the McKenzie's house, knock on the door, call the police, tell them to call the police, send them over here. And I rose up like that. I grabbed Junior. Now, mind you, Junior was 250, 300 pounds, 6'6" back then. I grabbed Junior by the back of his neck and slammed his head down onto his car, or or to the hood of his car. And he's like, "Oh man, oh that hurt." Blooper. That was funny, because I hopped in his car, And I don't have a license back then, mind you. So I ended up driving, I'm like maybe 18, 19 years old. I didn't have a license. And I'm driving his car, squealing tires, going around the corner. And all I heard, of course, he had the window cracked and stuff. All I heard was, Roger, get back here. Let me my car. We go back and watch it. We go back to their place and watch it. And we laugh hysterically. Junior's like, I'm going to have a bruise on my side of my face. It was funny. So we decide, as the weeks progressed, there in 1992, we got into the late summer, there around July or August. I told Junior, I said, hey man, I said, bored. He goes, well, what do we do? I said, I got the camcorder, man. Let's go make a movie. He goes, what are you thinking? Halloween 1992, an unfinished movie, here on YouTube.com. Search Halloween 1992, an unfinished movie. You should be able to find it. The basic concept of the movie was I played Michael Myers. I played Stephen Loomis, who was the nephew of Dr. Loomis, played, of course, by the late, great Donald Pleasance. And basically, Stephen Loomis had read everything, the files and everything that his uncle had took on Michael, and he became obsessed. He wanted to stop Michael once and for all. So we went to the Massillon Psychiatric Center there on South Erie. Of course, I think it's the Mental Health Center or something now, but back then it was Massillon Psychiatric Center. We're down around the sign, down close to the entranceway by the sign there. It's the Massillon Psychiatric Center, and you go up around the winding road there to get up to the actual campus, as they would say, of the actual psychiatric center. And we're getting ready to do all this. Well, here comes the federal marshal, or the marshal, or there, and he comes in his car, his little police car type thing, and he rolls his window down. He said, "What are you gentlemen doing?" My cousin's like, "I got this, man." He said, "Hey, officer," he said, "my cousin has to do a short movie for his course that he has in college, and he said that we're wanting to do this movie." He's like, "Well, I guess that's all right, as long as you guys stay here." He goes, "Don't go up around up there by the campus. There's a lot of the inmates like to run around, and some of them are really dangerous. So you guys stay where you are." Well, anyway, basically what I did was, I'm not going to go into detail exactly what I did, but the movie in general involved there at the Psychiatric Center. Went to Stadium Bar and Grill thing there that was right next to the Psychiatric Center, and basically. I come out as Michael, and then I come out as Stephen Loomis. There's an old-style phone booth downtown Massillon that used to be there. It's not there anymore. I think it's ripped down, but it's an old-style phone booth that you go in there and use. I need to speak with Detective Dick Mox. Anyway, we go there, and then we go into a scene with a laundromat there on Amherst Road, off of Amherst Road. I'm not sure exactly what street that actually was off of Amherst, where the actual laundromat was. We go there, we go up around the ice cream place known as the Tristy Treats and stuff like that. Take a look at it. Halloween, unfinished movie. Basically, the concept, like I said, was Stephen Loomis becoming obsessed with Michael Myers and everything like that. And I really was going to have some flashbacks to the regular Halloween movies and stuff like that, as to where, you had a couple of various clips of Dr. Loomis flashing back, and really wanted to get into it. Like I said, non-scripted, but I knew exactly what I wanted to do with this movie. I wanted to basically have it to where there was going to be serious altercations, a lot of good mix of killings and stuff like that in general, but just got unfinished. Check it out, Halloween unfinished movie here on Halloween 1992 unfinished movie here on YouTube.com. Anyway, another movie that we actually was done was my cousin John Huffman. My cousin Sean, friend Dan Cantwell, who ran the camera. Basically, again, Michael Myers. I had my black trench coat, a pair of shorts, barefooted, with my ball cap, and down my face like this, and going down the road there on the side of the street there, south there, before you got to the actual thing was a cemetery. Before you got to the psychiatric was a cemetery. I'm running, kind of limping around, walking around there, and my cousin John and Sean's coming in his car, and he kind of sideswiped me, and I roll up onto the car, do the old stunt thing, and fall, and then we fast forward the film to go to the apartment building that we all lived in there. Of course, my cousin Sean did, but my cousin John Huffman and of course me, we all and a guy named John Maddox. John, I'm running the camcorder at this point, and John Maddox and Cantwell and Sean and my little brother at the time, like this is 1993, 94, so he's about 3 or 4 years old. He was born in 1990. Anyway, we have they're sitting there talking and reminiscing about this, that, the other, and then they all leave with one another. And John Maddox goes up he lived in the attic apartment, so he goes up the stair steps there on the side of the actual house. It's like a house basically with 4 apartment buildings in it, and he goes up his steps. Well, I come in as Michael. Can't go on the camcorder. I come in as Michael Myers, and I end up going to the actual up the stair steps. And Maddox, we told Maddox, look, this is what's going on. You need to be there. I'm going to come in as Michael. I'm going to bust the door down. You got to have a reaction, and then I'm going to choke you out, and then and then we'll go from there. Well, anyway, non-scripted, like I said. So what we did was I went up there, kicked the door, and he's like, ah, ah. He's sitting on his couch. Well, I go over to him, and it's not a struggle. He don't try to beat me or struggle me. He just sits there and takes it. I choke him out a minute or two, and he goes, ah. And he goes like this. There was a big old sweat stain. His arm was sweat stained right here. I mean, his arms, like both arms actually, had the sweat stain there from his shirt. And I go into his kitchen and pull out a butcher knife. And I mean, that butcher knife had a blade on it about like that, people. I mean, it was bigger than what Michael used in the actual Halloween movies. I mean, this was actually an awesome, awesome knife. I mean, not that I'm, anyway, the knife actually, so I grabbed the knife, and then I ended up walking out of his place, coming down the steps, and then going around the back of the house or around the corner or whatever it is. And that's how we ended the movie. The movie never got finished. Basically, what it all boils down to was Michael Myers was going to get revenge on these people who actually hit him, who actually tried to take him out, which would, of course, be my cousin John and Huffman and my cousin Sean. And like I said, we actually never finished the movie. That's how it stopped. Another movie thing that was done, of course, this has nothing to do with the memory lane span of 1979, 1999, but in 2007, an old neighbor across the street from me here in, we basically, him and I had a real love for the horror genre. I mean, we actually clicked really good, talking about the horror genre, horror film in general. We really liked the same actual horror movies, and we actually loved horror, loved the gore. We actually made up our own little production company like we called NC Productions. His name was Radner Ralt, my name, of course, Roger Cornell, so we actually had NC Productions. You get it? You can find our teaser trailers here on YouTube.com. Type in NCProductionFilms. Friday the 13th, the terror comes to North Vernon, Indiana. Basically, you have a guy who's a bounty hunter. His name is Jake Andrews. He was hired to track down and kill Jason Voorhees. He found him, killed him, and then took his remains to the Muscatatuck River in Vernon, Indiana. And he basically buried them there. Well, of course, the rain come, the tide, the water receded onto the banks and stuff because it got too high from the rains and stuff. Washed Jason up. Jason comes back to life, comes looking for Jake Andrews, and Jake's having a party. Starts hacking up a bunch of people that Jake has at the party until that final showdown between Jake and Jason. That movie was scripted. I'd say it's about maybe 7 to 12 pages long. Maybe roughly, I'm guessing, estimated maybe about an hour to hour and 20-minute movie is what we actually estimated it to be. The Haunted Little Shack was another movie that we teaser trailered. I actually made a story about the Haunted Little Shack, and actually the story that I made is actually completely different to the actual script itself. The script is probably about 4 or 5 pages. We're looking at maybe 45 minutes to an hour movie long. And then we had another movie called Candy for Carl, a movie where an escaped mental patient goes on the hunt for candy. These movies were scripted, but never got started at all. We had another movie that we actually was going to start called The Stalker. where a guy was being stalked by a psychopath. These movies never got finished, but like I said, NCProductionFilms, you can find them here on YouTube.com, and you can find these teaser trailers. Of course, I posted these like 2007, and I've gotten rips from these people saying that whoever posted this is on drugs and high and all this other stuff. But Brad, something happened with Brad that he became, or something happened with Brad that it was just horrifying. These scripts burned up in the house that they lived in. Of course, the house is kind of fixed up and whatnot. Now, we're not going to go into any. I'm not going to go into any details about all that. But something happened and just never fell through. We're talking unfinished movies, as I said. These movies never got a couple of scenes put down. I really had a lot of ideas for these. I really wanted to make these. Really want to do it. But as you have listened for the past, I don't know, I'm rambling, but if you listen, you know that nobody really gave a damn about these movies. I was serious. I wrote the scripts. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. Unscripted, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. But it never got finished because nobody was really serious as I was. So therefore, with nobody being serious, no movies was actually finished. But the fun of it, the fun of actually doing these trailers that I did, the fun that was actually doing a few different scenes and stuff like that was amazing. I had fun. I would have loved to have finished them. I had fun. That's all I got to say about that. I had so much fun. But I want to tell you right now, if I ever get an opportunity to make a movie in the future, and I got some serious people who seriously want to make a movie, I'm all for it. Thank you so much for going down memory lane with me. I'll catch you next time.